I've just finished having my rice, chicken and steak curry, and oh my goodness. I've just impulsively decided to get some cereal as well. This is one of the best meals I've cooked. No need for condiments, no need for extra sauces, because it just tastes it's that flavorful. I've been thinking maybe I could do like cook the sort of stews that my mum made, but just healthier versions to it. Take the meals I like and just make them healthier. The flavor's there. My mum, when it comes to flavor, she really knows what she's doing. And I could literally just copy and paste that sort of flavor that my mum would make in the meals. But just make them healthier, make the meals healthier. I'm genuinely convinced that girls will run the crutches over that chicken and steak curry that I made. I'm convinced that they will. I can't believe how amazing it tastes. And my belly's barely bloated.
That's what it looks like from this side.
Pretty poor lighting because my hands over my stomach. There you go. I'll show you what that actually looks like from how I look down at it. Borderline can see my abs, especially the left side. Seems like they've always been developed more than my right side, to be honest. On a side note, as I've added all the clips together, vegetable oil might be extremely unhealthy. I don't really know which oils are healthier, which oils are unhealthy. I don't really know the difference. I haven't done much research, but I really wanted to say that and make a note of that, so that in the future, when I do know, I'll be able to have a clear understanding of why I was using such oils. For now, it's because I don't know. I don't really know which oils are extremely unhealthy or which oils are extremely, or more healthy at least. I don't know, so I just pick any oil because of lack of education on the matter. If I'm being very honest, I don't know, and I haven't done much research on it, so yeah, I just wanted to make a quick note of that. But anyway, back to the main clips. But anyway, yeah, that meal was tasty. I wasn't sure if I left the vegetable oil in there or not, but I did keep it in there just to make the cooking process easier. So what I did was I cooked the steak, I fried the steak, fully cooked that. Then after I cut it up into manageable chunks, I put the steak back in, then added the curry sauce, then added the chicken, then added I added the steak back, then it was the curry sauce, then it was the spinach, then it was the chicken. I didn't expect it to go so dark. It literally looks like the sort of curry that my mum cooked, but just a healthier version, because there's spinach involved. I can't believe how amazing I feel. I do feel a bit heavy, but I feel agile at the same time. I don't feel overfull. Now that I've allowed the food to sit a bit, it might not have been the most sensible decisions to actually make that cereal, because I've had the rice and curry, I've had the dessert, and then I'm having this now after letting it sit. But yeah, basically, this probably could be like one of my go-to meals that I make if I'm telling a girl to come over. Chicken, the steak curry. But after she tastes that, it's basically game over. If she eats that food and then I proceed to treat her like a human being, I mean, it's game over. it's basically game over. If I treat her like a human being from the start, as well she is, feed her the steak curry, chicken and steak curry, and then proceed to treat her like a human being even after that, and genuinely not just want to fuck her. To what healthy extent can a relationship not go? How? I can't see how that relationship would be unhealthy unless she is unhealthy herself. She's an unhealthy individual without me even realizing it. Yeah, I'm blown away by this meal. This is the first time I've had this curry sauce, and I'm certainly adding it to the cooking vocab proudly. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna eat this cereal a little bit. Maybe watch some YouTube, mindlessly, impulsively, but watch a little bit of YouTube. See if I can do a bit more of what I've set myself today, and after that, just allow myself to relax. Really, I have stuff to do. Even though it's 9 p.m, there's quite a bit of stuff that I've set myself that I haven't done yet. But it's not like I can't get on with it, and I'll make an effort. I'll eat this, watch some YouTube mindlessly, then allow the food to sit a bit if I want. Go upstairs and then see how I feel. See if I'm still up for the even doing like 5 minutes here and there on the stuff that I've set myself, and then yeah, go from there. Amazing meal, and I'm certainly keeping it within the vocab. I've even got a bit left over. Hold up a sec. Uh-oh. Condensation. Look at that beauty. Maybe for future reference, I don't cook it with the oil. I was saying to myself, next time I can try cooking it without the oil. So I'll fry the steak with the oil and then pour out the rest of the oil before adding the steak back in with the curry sauce and everything. See how it goes. I really like how dark it turned out. It looks like something. I'm used to dark curries. That'd be the end result when my mum would cook food. It'd be dark, a lot lighter than the curry sauce. So I poured about, when making it, I poured about half of it. I was expecting this color. I didn't expect it to change to a darker color. I was expecting this. I was thinking, I'm not really used to that. I didn't expect it to have peas, but it does show. There's no chicken in there though. But yeah, there's some peas, there's some onions in there. Wasn't expecting that. I didn't actually pay much attention to that, but it just added extra aspects to the meal I wasn't even expecting. But next time I know what to expect, and it tastes. You just gotta try it, basically. You just gotta try it. And next up, stews. Go to Aldi, see what I could get. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Make healthy alternatives to what my mum cook. What my mum cook would be extremely flavorful, very flavorful, but just unhealthy, very low protein. I can't go around eating that. I can't go around eating low protein foods. I'll be destroying myself if I do that. So I do have to make healthier alternatives to the meal and add a lot more protein to the meals than my mum would, but I can still make stews though. I can still learn how to make stews, and I think I'll do that. Not only that, but I can add more variation to these curries as time goes on, as I further improve my cooking skills. And also use my left hand more. I've been wanting to use my left hand as a little side quest, you could say, it'd be me improving my weaknesses, because I wouldn't really use my left hand unless it's like to hold food down when I'm cutting it, like meats, for example. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say than that. I just wanted to make a note of this amazing curry, and also how little my stomach blows. It's silly. I can't believe a meal could have that much flavor and not make my stomach bloat excessively. One thing I will say though is the rice came out a lot softer than usual. I must have put more water in the rice cooker than usual. I was looking at it thinking that it was a normal amount before I put the rice cooker bowl into the rice cooker itself. It looked normal to me, but as I was cooking it, it just seemed that it had a lot more water than usual. And with the way how it tasted, because it tasted so soft, I suspect that I added more water than I usually would in terms of like water to rice ratio. Usually the rice would come out a lot harder, but it did make for an amazing meal, I can't lie. I was thinking of adding some cheese into the curry, but nah, no need. This is more than enough as it is. Cheers to cooking. Cheers to improving our cooking skills. Well, actually, oh no, it's not glass, hold on. I can vouch for this. Yeah, anyway, cheers. Amazing meal. I'm gonna have some of this cereal, and yeah, see you lot later. Right, the framing's okay. Let's just get straight into this. I think I might set up a bit more for the sake of the framing. I've got a lot to say, but it's more so about the test, the depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz that I've just been doing for over an hour. Usually it take me a few minutes, but this time it took me well over an hour because I went into deep detail this time, and I spent a lot of time writing down my thoughts on a laptop that you're currently set up on. So my depression scores, as were just shown, was 7 out of 21 depression, 1 out of 21 anxiety. I certainly said I had an anxiety attack. I know why, and whilst it was happening, I paid attention to how I felt, and I know exactly what caused it. This did not just come out of nowhere. But I know what to do so that it at least happens a lot less, or maybe even not at all. It's something that I'm overcoming by even paying attention to it in the moment whilst it happened, rather than just letting the feeling of being on edge run wild. And I said at the last question, me having a not so ideal sleep routine and me putting in so much effort into this main channel here, it's been making learning the gym instructor course material extremely difficult. It's been making learning about the show me tell me questions for the driving test and improving the state of my finances. It's been making learning about these things so much more difficult than it has to be, and I said it made it extremely difficult, and hence that probably added like +3 to the depression score maybe. And no money's coming in at this point in time, so I ticked the financial worries part on question 17. If you've taken the NHS depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right, let's start with the framing here quickly. Yeah, that's better, much better. So what I've been trying to say a few times now, I think this is my third take, trying to say it, is my mental health and my mental health and all the other, and my health in its broadest sense, it comes first. There's something my dad asked me to do. I said no because I was in the middle of doing that test. It's a bit loud right now, and I've been finding it a little bit tough to concentrate, especially after focusing very deeply on doing that test for over an hour. Now I'm doing this. It is a bit tough, but I will keep pushing forward. Speaking more about that depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz, I've got major ways that I want to improve now that I've highlighted that keep on coming up over and over and over again. So I certainly will be focusing on them. And one way in particular that I wanted to improve was by improving my sleep routine. I've got a whole load of ways that I wanted to improve, which I've highlighted. Amongst all of this noise, I'm meant to just keep going like it's not even around. It got so loud to the point that I actually felt the need to go into the car to record, and I actually acted on those thoughts, but it was just way too hot in there. And for some reason, I can't open the rear doors from the inside, but I can from the outside. I don't get that, but that's something I'm just gonna have to sort out. It's not anything to do with me or my body, so I'll eventually, even though it is my position, and it has everything to do with me, it's not a part of my body, so it's not all that an urgency, especially seeing because I'm not using it at the moment, because I'm not driving yet, because I haven't yet passed, but that's going to change. Speaking of, I know I want to get my pass plates for when I do pass, because this is serious. It's not a joke. But in time, I may go today. I don't know. For a walk, I may actually just go and get the plates. Maybe not. Wow, I actually got a minute off before having to end, before feeling the need to end the clip. That's how loud it's been. It's ridiculous, but I am pushing through it. So here we go. All right. Yeah, I'm looking to get my pass plates, and the mental health self-assessment, the depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz. The way how I go about it is significantly improved. So well done to me for that. And there's no way that would have happened if I didn't think about doing weekly health reviews rather than weekly picture reviews where I only focus on my physique. That was very, very, there was a lot of vanity in doing that and only really caring about how my body looked rather than my state just in every way. But that said, it was a stepping stone for me to get to this point and think, no, I can actually review my health entirely rather than just review my physique. Just because my physique looks a certain way doesn't mean that I'm feeling healthy. For example, after the 2-day, more so 1.5 day water fast that I did, I took a photo of me and my abs were showing more than ever. And I had a massive smile on my face, but that photo doesn't show the ulcer that I was feeling on the roof of my throat at the back. It doesn't show how I got that and the extent that I went in order for that to happen. So just looking at how my body looks alone absolutely isn't enough. But now I've got to such a high level where I'm really going to improve, where my life is really going to improve from now on. There are certain decisions that I've had to make with my gym instructor course material as well that I'm gonna have to act on. I've been trying to learn the material, but I don't have an exam date booked. I'm gonna have to talk to my course tutor about actually getting it booked and getting some form of proof that it's booked, so that it's all extremely serious. Like how I had to stop postponing the driving test that I had booked. I had to stop postponing that, and now I put myself in a position where I'm actually ready for the test. All I have to do is really look at the show me, tell me questions a bit, look at the signs a bit, and then that's it. But there's no way I would have actually got to this point if I carried on postponing the tests. The driving test date, sorry. I was listening to a lot of drill music recently this past week. Goodness gracious me, I've heard some evil stuff. I'm not gonna name any names or name any track names or anything like that, but there's some evil stuff that I've heard in those tracks. So homicidal, the thoughts are so homicidal to a point where those certain music videos that I have heard been taken down and re-uploaded. What a positive feedback loop system for something that's so negative. It implies that people want it so much to the point where they're willing to actually record it and then re-upload it in case if it does get deleted. Then after that, people just carry on destroying their minds, man. But then again, even though it is very negative, that sort of music is very negative, it can be helpful if I am to use it to set boundaries. And by that I mean saying, okay, this is absolutely awful, no more of this. By putting my foot forward, by putting my foot on the brake, basically making that decision to not do that anymore when I know it's harming me. Yeah. Speaking of, the way how I'm going about watching YouTube and creating content on YouTube's slightly changing now, especially how I'm watching it. I literally see, I believe after watching some TikTok videos about how they are addictive, I've started to believe that consuming YouTube excessively is literally like smoking. And sometimes if I were to ever have an impulse of doing that, it's like, that's what I do to remind myself that I'm now starting to think of YouTube, excessively consuming YouTube, that is like literal smoking. In some respects, these social media platforms, in my opinion, are actually worse than hardcore drugs in some respects. One way in which I think social media addictions could be worse than actual hardcore drug addictions is the fact that there are no legal consequences for having social media addictions like how there are for hardcore drug addictions. For example, if you get caught with weed or cocaine or heroin, you can get sentenced for that. But if you get, no one's gonna care if you have like 6 hours of screen time due to watching or due to being on Snapchat, Instagram and YouTube and maybe even WhatsApp or something like that, or Facebook maybe. You're not going to be arrested, and that certainly is one of the last things that the police are going to look out for, unless, for example, you have a well-known online page and your page is known for having like pictures of guns on there or something like that, actual guns, then yeah, it's a different story. But if it's just normal, just selfies or anything like that, police aren't going to care about how many hours you've been on Snapchat for. It's not their job to. They have much more bigger fish to fry, such as people potentially out here getting murdered. And because there aren't these legal consequences for having a social media addiction, even though you may genuinely get withdrawal symptoms after coming off these social media platforms, after using it for a prolonged period of time, similar to how you'd have withdrawal symptoms from decreasing how much you use certain drugs. I forgot what I was going to say, hold on. People in general might not have as much of an inclination to sort themselves out when it comes to no longer having a social media addiction compared to having a hardcore drug addiction. People know that there's that incentive to sort yourself out because you could get caught and you could get sentenced. But with a social media addiction, you're not going to get sentenced. You're not going to get sentenced for watching Snapchat or Instagram or YouTube or WhatsApp for a certain period of time. After long enough, you may feel bitter, but you're not going to get arrested and have a criminal background because of it. And fair enough. So you have to, for that reason, it may be a lot more challenging to overcome those sorts of addictions, because you might just have to use a lot more willpower to actually overcome them, because it's legal to have a social media addiction. It's not illegal. You're not going to get a criminal background for it. For that reason, we'd really have to get it together in order to improve in that way. If we believe that we have a social media addiction, we have to really take it upon ourselves to sort ourselves out with from no longer having social media addictions, because it's so easy to get one. If you have a phone, which most people do, it's so easy to get one. So easy to get one. Just because you want to connect with friends and for entertainment purposes, to stimulate the mind. Regardless of how unhealthy it may be, by doing it through these artificial means of watching YouTube excessively, doesn't matter really. These companies out here, they aren't really going to care about whether you have a social media addiction. For them, for the companies, that's very beneficial. That's great for business, because that means that you're watching for such a long time that they could just put so many advertisements in the videos. They can show so many advertisements, which is what is creating business for YouTube, advertisements, funding, paying YouTube so that they could get onto YouTube because of how many people are watching it. It's literally, to me, it's like one just massive advert place, one place to breed low brain activity, and one place just for advertisements, like one big advert. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to be a part of it like how I once was a part of it. I don't mind creating videos and not making any advertisements for it, because that's what it is about, really, from a creator side, as far as I'm concerned. It's about creating videos from a creator's perspective, but for YouTube it's more so just business, and YouTube isn't going to care about us like that. YouTube's not going to, or any social media platform for that matter, it's not their responsibility to maintain, or even better still, improve your health. It's not their responsibility to do that. It's our responsibility to improve our health, and that means saying no to doing things in unhealthy ways and working on it every single day. Maybe not necessarily making progress every day, but moving forward significantly from month to month at least, and extremely significantly from year to year at least. Yeah. I'm finding a lot of fun in just writing down things on the computer, writing my thoughts down on the computer. I did that yesterday, and I've done that today with the mental health review. Last night, I was just writing some thoughts down, and I found that fun. I don't quite know why, but I did. I think it was much healthier than just mindlessly consuming YouTube. I watch, I check Luke Spurgeon's channel page. I'd watch some deep content that females will make about like beauty standards, for example, and also some more shallow things like get ready with me videos, because I know that the sexual orientation's heterosexual, and hence because I be dating women, that then means that in order for me to date them in a constructive way, rather than somehow ending up believing that all of my exes in the future are crazy, I've got to know how the world works, and that means watching those sorts of videos at least some point in my life and knowing what they do to make themselves look more attractive. I've got to know, because they're not going to go out of their way to go and teach me unless the game's up, unless you've got kids or something, and we've been partners for a while, we've been dating each other for a while, and we've got kids together. I don't think that they go out the way to tell us what they're doing to make themselves look as sexually attractive as possible, to lure us in, because seduction involves an element of surprise, an element of unawareness. If you do have self-awareness and awareness as to what they're doing, then the ball's really in your court. And they may believe that they have a lot less power if they believe that the ball's in your court rather than theirs, as it meaning that you have the power of the relationship. In the relationship, you have most of the power. You are the leader in the relationship. See, because that's the case, if it's not them being the leader, then they might feel unhappy about that from time to time, because they might not know how the relationship might go, and in the unknown there's fear, unless the woman's strong, then it's different. But if the woman's looking like a twig, imagine what the mind's looking like. It's the same, metaphorically speaking. It's the same. It would be the same. Whereas if it's a strong woman in the mind, it at least is more likely to be the same mentally. So meaning that she'd be mentally strong and physically strong as well. Although that isn't necessarily the case, and vice versa. Meaning just because she might look like a twig doesn't mean that she's mentally weak. Of course, there of course are going to be exceptions, but what I'm saying here is it's a lot more likely that you, regardless of gender, are going to be a weak-minded person if you aren't strong physically. I can't believe that all of that shopping that I did, it lasted 3 days. My chicken, my steak, it lasted 3 days. The rest of my stuff has lasted for longer than that, but goodness me, 3 days, only 3 of them. I think I genuinely might need to do a £30 shop of just meat and fish alone, so that they at least last for the week. It's ridiculous how quickly that sort of thing could go when you're eating at least somewhat high protein. Maybe I'd say like 30% protein if we're talking macros. Can't believe it. I can't believe that it went so quickly, but I genuinely need to go and do some more shopping now, or otherwise I'll be looking at the food that I'd be feeding myself in disgust, like how I've been doing today. I don't want to be eating that sort of food anymore that I look at with disgust. Instead, I want to be feeding myself foods that I actually like. And as I spoke about much earlier on in the video, I really like this new curry sauce that I saw in the supermarket, and I'll certainly be adding that to my cooking vocabulary, that's for sure. I'm now making my meals a lot more flavorful without the need for condiments like mayo and salad cream and that. And the curry sauce is helping me do that. It's great. It's so tasty, and I can focus on making the meals more flavorful, and then think about adding different aspects to my meals, such as having spicy meals, having flavorful and spicy meals, or having flavorful, just only flavorful meals in very different ways. Like with the curry, for example, or having a much more sour lemon flavored meal, whatever that may be. Like, of course, you can put lemon on, squeeze lemon juice on salmon, but other than that, I don't really know what to do, but I'll learn, that's for sure. Very basically, as for the weekly plan now, I said that this is something that I wanted to talk about from the weeks onwards, and I made a weekly plan. Well, I have. I'm not just making it up, and it's going okay. There's some things. I basically set myself up for failure on Tuesday because I made so many videos, and then I was expecting myself to do what I planned on Tuesday. It was ridiculous. I'm basically focusing on the show me, tell me questions and learning more from the gym instructor stuff, and improving my finances. Oh my gosh, that's basically what all my my day by day plans are about. And the reason why I'm doing weekly plans anyway is because I noticed that when I was making plans for the 5-day period from the 13th of August to the 17th of August, I noticed that I was just going at it consistently, day in and day out, and it was manageable that way rather than just trying to make daily plans. That just didn't work for me, so I've changed my ways, and I'm going to talk about them here from now on. I'd say very basically they haven't been going as awful as they could be, nor have they been going as well as I'd like them to be. But I have been making progress, that's for sure. I've been making progress, and going about making weekly plans has meant that I've been making more progress than I have been in the past with these things that I want to do. So at least that's an improvement, and we can work from there. And I made some notes about how I thought Thursday went too. That's what I was doing yesterday. I was talking about that earlier, and I was just explaining to myself. I was writing down how that went. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Again, in my mind, I was just thinking about drill music. One melody in particular that was related to some very evil track that I heard. That's what was going through the mind right now. At least I heard only like a few lines of it, like 4 lines of the chorus. So otherwise, I'd be, oh my gosh, I'd have to recover. I'd have to recover from that. I'd have to recover from the whole song. Someone actually put the lyrics of the song there. It's disgusting. How could people take their time to do that? such evil lyrics, but to some people it literally is just lyrics to them, and it's entertainment. It's not actually what the fuck it doesn't really have anything to do with what the fuck they're actually saying, and taking it in and listening, and not just hearing it and not just liking how it flows, but actually listening to what the fuck that they're saying in these lyrics. I'm feeling dehydrated, so I probably won't even talk about it all that much. And I'm feeling hungry too. I do need to get something to eat. But yeah, I've got some things to do. I'm liking how my days are going more compared to how they were earlier on in the week, because I haven't really been on YouTube all that much today. I may have been on YouTube a little bit. I may have gone on YouTube Studio, I think. I don't know. I don't think I've really been on YouTube at all. I think I went on YouTube Studio once, but that was it. And that's a major improvement compared to being on it like 8 hours, being on YouTube like 8 hours in total a day. I'll show you my screen usage. I think I'll do it again now anyway. You know what? I'll do it again now. It seems like it's decreasing slowly but surely from 52 hours a week on YouTube to 43, but it might end up around the 40s, late 30s for this week, because you got to remember that there's Saturday and Sunday too, and Friday hasn't finished either, so the YouTube time is going to increase. But yeah, even though it is, it's not going to be anywhere near as much as it once was. 52 hours a week, 52 hours a week. That's 2 days and 4 hours. 2 days and 4 hours a week. That is, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I was basically doing this to my mind for 2 days and 4 hours a week. Through watching that stuff. It was excessive. Like 8 to 10 hours a day on YouTube, both uploading and also consuming. Predominantly consuming a lot more than I was creating. But yeah, oh my gosh, man. At least I'm aware of it due to Imam Gadzi's tip that I've acted on, saying put your time widget on there. And that was very helpful, because I've now allowed myself to become more aware of my screen usage, and because I'm tracking it, I can manage it. I'm measuring it with the help of the screen time with the time widget, so I can now manage it. And it seems like the YouTube usage is naturally decreasing, which is what we want, because I don't want to be frying my brain on over consuming YouTube every single day of the week. Nope. I'm looking to have a healthy relationship with how I use YouTube in both a consumption and a creation sense. That is what I'm defining as success on YouTube. Not how many followers or subscribers the channel has, not how many views the videos get, just not even the video count either really, even though I certainly will be able to look at that with pride, but more so using YouTube and also eventually everything that I have and that I use in a healthy way. That is what I define as success. Because even if you have many subscribers on the channel, if the channel you're running has many subscribers that doesn't regard the state of your mental health or your health at all for that matter, you could have one of the largest, one of the most well-known channels out there with one of the highest subscriber counts, one of the highest subscriber counts at this point in time, but your mental health could be a shit show. You could have so many subscribers there and have so many views, millions of views every day, maybe even tens of millions of views every day, but you could want to kill yourself. I don't define that as success because it doesn't take my health into account, whereas having a healthy relationship with how I create content, videos, having a much healthier relationship with how much time I spend on YouTube, that actually does take my health into regard, and that does take me as a human being rather than a commodity and a product to be sold into account. Me as a human, those motives take me as a human into account rather than just the fact that I can create content. I've noticed as I've been putting the clips together, I've been playing about with this watch and I've been looking fidgety. There's this concentration book that's saying have mastery of your body, even literally down to how your muscles twitch. They're just not doing these sorts of things impulsively. I've been noticing, I've been playing about with the watch and looking fidgety. Not only slightly fidgety because I'll be using my hands a lot more than anything. But it can be something that I work on because I am looking for self-mastery, complete mastery. So yeah, that's something I can improve, but I think that'll be it for this video because I'm feeling hungry and I need to go to the toilet. But I've addressed what I wanted to address at this point in time, and if there's anything else that I want to add, then I can. But for now, I'm gone. I think I'll end it off with this message here. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, in brackets, mastery, and growth I added to the phrase. Then is not an act, but a habit. I have to transform and stay on track for future me. Transform past the norm. I underlined the word transform. Transform past the norm. That's what I'm doing with these videos and with how I'm going about working towards having a lifestyle that I wanna have and that I've earned. But yeah, for now that'll be it. I'm really liking how I'm doing my tests, my depression and anxiety self-assessment quizzes compared to how I was in the past. Major improvements in that front, even though it took longer. That said, I don't mind it taking longer. I can just improve my sleep routine so I have more hours. I've set aside more hours in the day to actually focus on these sorts of things and take my health into account, take it seriously. You need time to take these sorts of things very seriously and to actually listen to what's going on here, what's going on in between the ears. That takes time. I can't just do that in a very deep manner in just a few minutes and not recording myself say anything or have any form of record of why I answered, how I answered, and what my answers even were for me to get the depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz scores that I've got before this point. No more of that. I'll be having my reviews on the laptop. I'll be making my reviews on the laptop and improve my sleep routine, which is one of the main things that I want to do. There's more to it than just that, but I think there are a couple more things that I want to do, but I've forgotten what they are. But I could refer back to them and look. So for now, that would be it. because I'm feeling hungry and I need to go to the toilet, so I'm done. I'll see you lot in the next one. With these sorts of things and with this journey, we're going to be making significant improvements, and the way how we go about things are going to significantly improve. Sooner or later, it's going to happen if we just keep on barking at it every single day, and we have something to show for every single day. It's possible for all of us. It's possible for all of us. All of us, we can all significantly improve how we go about our ways if we're currently in a position that we don't want to be in at the moment, within reason, right? If you've already basically mastered yourself, you can look for improvement, but you might not be able to find it as much as someone like me will be able to find it at this point in time, because of the level I'm currently at. I've got to keep on making significant improvements before I get anywhere near mastering myself, at least somewhat. Eventually, all in time. Slow. It builds up slow. It's taken me less than over 7 months to get to this point where I'm really taking my health into account. Oh my gosh. Yeah, only over 7 months. For me to make even more progress, it's going to take much longer than that. But with this life transformation journey, I now understand how far I can really get in the space of a year, because I've now done a year's worth of time trying to really change things around. I know how long, like I now have a basic perception of what a year's worth of time's like, and it's very, very, very long. Very long. You have enough time to do a lot and make a lot of progress. And on that note, let's transform past the norm. I'm gone, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, this is an extra bit of the video that I wanted to add, just as I was about to export the final project, because it's something that I really do want to make a note of. It's something that I thought about, but I don't think I've made a video about it, or I don't think I've spoken about it on camera, so here it goes. So it's to do with the very first meal that I showed, takeaway. It was the chicken, the batter was so salty, and the chips, they were very dry. At least they weren't greasy. They were really dry, and it costs so much. These people, I thought I had a hatred. I thought that I had a hatred for takeaway shops, but that hatred that I had for those takeaway shops has become even more intense. It's become even more strong, and the reason why that is because I've just really started to think that these people are just out here just taking advantage of others, and they're also neglecting themselves. You can tell in their physique that these guys are so big. They're so life doesn't have to be that way. They look bored out of their minds, number one, and number two, they have so much fat on them. Their bellies are so big, literally looking like they're somewhat pregnant, like they're 5 months pregnant, anywhere from 5 to 8 to 9 months pregnant. It's ridiculous, and they're looking bored out of their minds. I saw one of them leaning over the counter like this, just looking bored out of their minds with such big bellies. There's no need for people to be like this. There really is no need, and these people, they're saying that for whatever reason, the people, one person in particular who I was talking to, who was serving me that food, was saying that for whatever reason they had to close down. They couldn't work until late, and they genuinely think that they missed out on $4 in the space of 2 days because of the people from nightclubs not being able to go to the shop. These people, as far as I'm concerned, after I heard that, I've had enough with the way, because in my mind I'm now thinking that they're taking advantage of these people. They're just taking advantage. The food's so salty as well. I don't even know what's in that food. Food. It's nowhere near natural. They try to make it seem like, oh yeah, it's a little bit healthy because it's got lettuce in there. No, that lettuce was basically borderline orange, light green going on orange. It's ridiculous, seriously. And after that, I just built such a hatred, an even more intense hatred for takeaway. I hadn't had takeaway in months, but I certainly won't be having takeaway anytime soon. That's for sure. You can, that's just for sure. No way, no way, absolutely no way. I'm not doing that. But if I do want to make more of a note about another video about it, I will. But for now, that's it. I'm just gonna focus on making my meals more flavorful. And if I want to have those sorts of meals that they sell, I want to make a healthier alternatives to them and make them have them homemade. At least I'll know, have a much clearer idea at least of what's going in that food. Don't want to go to those sorts of shops anymore, and I don't have to, because I could cook. So I'm not as susceptible to those sorts of people that take advantage of you compared to other people, teenagers especially, who can't cook. Nah, I'm not that way. I can cook. I could cook, and I'm improving my cooking skills too. I've come off improving my culinary skills, even though I would like to be able to use my left hand more efficiently. But it's something that I can work on, at least from time to time, and then do it more as the months go on. Instead of recording on the floor, I now know I can always come here and set my laptop up like this, and always have a place to speak. It's not always going to be as loud as it has been today, so I can literally just always come here and have the table set up, laptop set up, and then get the framing right by balancing the phone on the laptop. I'd much rather that than be on the floor. Come on, man, I could only do that for so long before being able to actually progress and move forward. We're making a video, for goodness sake. We're not down. We're not down. Let's stop that, please. Let's stop that, and let's move forward. Let's move forward by not actually making videos, recording videos on the floor. Yep, I do that just so I can have a video up. But now I just see that as something I don't want to do that anymore. I don't need to be on a hard floor to make the videos, when I can literally just sit down, feel comfortable, get the framing nice, and create the video. I don't need to be on a hard floor. I don't need to feel any sort of pain creating these videos. I don't need to make myself feel upper back pain because the floor is uncomfortable, because I haven't put any padding on it, or very little padding. I don't need to make videos like that. Things don't need to be that way. I don't need to make it harder for myself. But for now, yeah, that'll be it from me. Let the next clips play for the video to end. Peace. I've had a lot of fun filming this, but only at the very end, since the noise is is calmed down a bit. The background noise has calmed down a bit. I've been actually starting to have fun a little bit at the very end. Sometimes you just have to push, and then we get this reward. Of just a much more fulfilling life, a much more meaningful life. Even though conditions might not be ideal, we can still push, we can still move forward. Even though I wasn't having fun at the start, I've only started really having fun at like the last few minutes now, or maybe even the last couple of minutes. I have had my fun, and I know to just keep on pushing, even though the background noise, there may be these sorts of things that I could say, oh no, I'm not making a video to, or no, I'm not making a progress, even though these things come up. You gotta push past them. Speaking of cold showers, I stopped having cold showers a few days ago. I went back to having lukewarm showers because I had somewhere to be, and I just decided to not work through. I acted on an impulsive thought to not work through that discomfort that you get when starting to have a cold shower. So I need to get back to doing it consistently enough to a point where it's just automatic and I don't do anything else. That's probably another note that I make for the sake of my own happiness and for the sake of my own mental health. That's I'll make another note of that. But yeah, I'm gone. See you lot later. Yeah, peace out.